the guys punch a pretty good punch. But accumulation of punches is 9 times out of 10 the rule for the lighter weights.
You know what? There's only a handful of fighters in any division who can knock a guy out with one punch. That's what made Tyson so exciting. That's what makes Foreman so exciting. But even Evander Holyfield had very, very few one-punch knockouts.
Well, I might as well ask you, will that fight happen? Tyson and Foreman?
Absolutely. There's just too much money for it not to. And I really believe that Foreman thinks he could beat Tyson. I think he thinks it's Joe Frazier all over again.
How many fights does Tyson have to have before he does it?
Oh, gee, I don't know. I would think 2 or 3. As many as he needs. But I don't think he'll need many.
Clock's winding on Foreman, though, right?
But the asset that Foreman has doesn't seem to be going away with age, and that's the punch and the chin.
Speaking of punches and chins going on in the 6th round, Canizales still kind of pecking away, but Vasquez still showing that he's still there.
Vasquez landed a good left and right, and now it's time to start watching whether or not Canizales hits hard enough to hurt Vasquez, because if Vasquez begins to believe he can't be hurt, he's just going to come forward and walk right through Canizales.
And again, the punching power moving up from a bantamweight up to the junior featherweight. Not that big from 118 to 122, but again, it can be a mountain to climb if you don't have the punch to carry yourself. And as Wally pointed out, to earn the respect of your opponent. Both fighters throwing wild punches, and the bell sounds, and we are halfway through this world title fight.
You know, it may not seem like much, the 4 pounds, but when you're talking about men who weigh 118 pounds, that 4 pounds does make a difference. It's not like heavyweights.
You won't win a title that way. You are down by 1 round. You've got to start working yourself and start putting this guy is slow. Get your body working and get that body punching and back him up. You're waiting to counter off his stuff. Don't counter off his stuff. You start being the aggressor.
Close your eyes. Relax. Fine.
Are you listening to me? Orlando, you've got to be more aggressive. More aggressive. Come on now, son. Don't sit there and look for 1 and 2 shots.
Continue to call for that more aggressive style.
Jesse Reed is worried that they would lose, what they call a champion's decision, whereby you have to take the title from the champion, and obviously he doesn't think Canizales is doing it.
And Canizales has been on the favorable side of that himself in those 16 title defenses, maybe somewhere along the way.
Oh, I would think more than once.
As they come out to answer the bell in round number 7. Those 6 rounds going pretty much as expected. Crowd wanting a little bit more. Both fighters, of course, showing the respect of one another. As Wally pointed out, if Vasquez ever finds out that Canizales' punches do not hurt, it could be a beginning of a defense here by the champion. But right now, Canizales still staying very much in it. Is he down by 1 round?
I have it 3 and 3. So obviously, Jesse Reed and I have scored 1 round differently. Okay. I'm going to have to ask which one it was.
And there's the rub with the 3 judges at ringside.
Forgot about them.
How quickly they go away sometimes.
Well, we didn't need them in the last fight.
You know, when you stop to think of the bantamweight record that was broken, Manuel Ortiz, by the way, had the record of 16 defenses of his bantamweight title, the most ever in that division by Orlando Canizales. And everywhere along the way, there was always some brash young star, not like the new gunfighter in the block, that said, I'll take this guy, and they never could put him away.
No, they couldn't, and that happens, especially when a guy's been around for a long time. Young fighters think they see a flaw. They think that they can exploit the age or the fact that he's had so many fights. And I tell you, that's a tribute to Canizales and how adaptable and durable he's been. That was a big left hook by Canizales inside.
Canizales starting to, he's still trying to stay as active as he can, still with that respect for the outside. They pretty well got each other measured. Pretty good right hand by Vasquez, just skipping off the chin that time of Canizales.
And there you see Vasquez with that slight reach advantage. He's been able to reach Canizales when Canizales, I think, believed he was out of range.
One minute to go in round 7. Vasquez lashing out with the left hand and tried 2 or 3 more that were a little weak in comparison to the first one. Still flipping that left jab right in the face of Canizales, who scores again with a left hand and a right hand right behind it.
Let's seem to sense a little frustration in Canizales for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe because he's being hit with those counters that he probably thinks he should not be getting hit with.
Well, there's also a factor as well at this stage of some of his fights. I'll say some. He had the 118 opponent starting to wearing down on him.
Right.
Vasquez saving his energy. Still maybe the stronger the fighters at this stage. And he's still staying right with it. Well, taking some punches.
Could be that Orlando was in that position in this fight.
Yep.
That many of his opponents were in. That he's going to be the guy to get one down.
And you see him still throwing the combinations at the end of round number 7.
Come on, stay back.
And Mr. Ramos breaking him for one of the few times at the end of the 7th round. On extra. Cerveza Maspina bringing you world championship fighting here.
Is waiting for him. You let him say he's going to hit you and keep you off balance. Inside, get off right away. You don't have to load up. Start acting like you're shadow boxing. Pop, 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 pop. 4 and 5 shots. You get back into this fight, son. You're down right now. You got to get back into it. Reach for it, son.
It's there.
Well, there's one thing about it out of the Jesse Reed corner over there with Orlando Canizales. As we take a look at some of the action in the 7th. Good right hand by Vasquez. They're very realistic. They know they're down by 2, and they've got to pass that message along.
Well, I agree that they're down, but, you know, you never know. Jesse Reed may be trying to motivate the fighter, tell him you're losing, always tell them that they're behind. It makes them try harder. But it sounds to me like he really believes that.
4 and 5 together, son. Let's start taking charge now.
This is round number 8 of a scheduled 12-round WBA Junior Featherweight Championship fight from San Antonio. Like 8,000 packing in. They've already seen one champion fall tonight as Kevin Kelly lost his WBC Featherweight Championship to Alejandro Gonzalez out of Mexico. A young 21-year-old banger that came in here and just literally would not be stopped. And he wins as Kelly finishes on his stool at the end of 10 and didn't answer the bell. Now the defending champion here, Vasquez, is battling the challenger. Canizales, a former champion, stepping up in weight.
Crowd very restless, but I'll tell you what, if there's anybody to point a finger at, it's Vasquez, because he's really not forcing the action. It seems as if he knows that the close rounds are probably going to go his way because he's the champion, and he's not taking a lot of chances.
We have not mentioned Sergio Reyes as the name that might be used as far as a trivia coming up. I'll elaborate on that in a moment as they exchange in the center round. Put a good right hand by Canizales. Comes back with the left hand.
And Vasquez sagged a little bit after one of those rights.
And he was able to counter back with one of his own left hands, but Canizales definitely hurt the champion for a moment. Reyes, by the way, is the man that fell at the end of 12 rounds and went the full 12 for the decision. Was the 16th title defense by Orlando Canizales October 15th of this past year, and that was the record in the bantamweight division.
And you know what? A lot of people thought Sergio Reyes won that fight. He got up off the deck in the 6th round and fought a heck of a second half of the fight. Now they're talking about him maybe meeting the winner here tonight.
Canizales, Vasquez, center of the ring. Couple of inches away from each other. Closest they have stayed for this long, almost throughout the entire fight.
And you would think that this would be where Vasquez would do most of his damage, but he's being picked apart on the inside this round by Canizales.
By the way, we're also finding out that Canizales' bag work was a little slower than normal because he wanted to go pat, 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 pat. And right now he's being able to throw some combinations, but not like Jesse Reed probably wanted him to do.
Well, it looks like he's doing some heavy bag work here.
He's doing a little better there.
I think he's doing pretty good on the inside here. I'm surprised that Vasquez hasn't taken more advantage of the fact that Canizales has stood still.
Vasquez may be taking a little bit of a rest in this 8th round, and it's costing him a round, that's for sure, as Canizales has had a pretty good solid 8.
This is the best round that Orlando's had in quite a while.
Vasquez, by the way, with just a little nick on the outside of the left eye. You've been seeing in the right eye Canizales being worked on in the corner, but nothing of any consequence whatsoever in this fight so far. Exchanging those good crisp left jabs here in the 8th round as Vasquez staggers. Orlando for just a moment may have stumbled, but he did get hit with a right hand.
Well, you know what? He got a little happy with success there. He ran the good 1-2, came in for another shot, and got tagged.
8th round has concluded here in this title fight.
The Ericsson Cup, live every week only on Australia's soccer station, Sports Australia.
Here's round 9 of a scheduled 12-round title fight. Champion coming center stage from the right in the red. Wilfredo Vasquez, 33 years of age, out of Puerto Rico. Orlando Canizales, Laredo, Texas, 29 years of age. And both these fighters have indeed enjoyed the success of their careers. And there's still more to go for one or the other tonight, as one will walk out either as the defending champion or as a new two-time champion.
Well, this is a pretty close fight. I mean, I think whoever loses is certainly not finished and probably has a good case for a rematch, although I'm not sure too many people would pay to see it again.
The crowd has been very, very quiet after that first fight. By the way, at the end of the 8th round, let me kind of correct myself. They did kind of come to life at the end of the 8th round, appreciating the action in the 8th.
And the 8th round was the best round of the fight
so
far. So maybe the gentlemen are getting heated up a little bit.
We got winging right hand thrown over the top by Canizales.
That's not to say that it's been a bad fight. It's just been a tactical fight. After you just watched a blitzkrieg, you're not really ready to watch a chess match.
I made mention of those 9 of his last 13 fights by knockouts by Vasquez. One came in the 12th, another came in the